Now that both these doors are swinging, latching with reasonable gaps on the B-pillar and roof, we're finally ready to move on to the rear quarters. And there's a ton to do here. Because at the moment, the back half, this whole back half of the 356 is just floating in space. Floating in the breeze, a few clamps, holding it closed, but really it's not attached to our platform at all. So this piece we're making now, this is going to be our first significant piece that actually ties this all together. I mean, I could do some new gloves by the looks of that. We've got to get some structure in here. Nice solid area down through here. We've got heaps to work with. So let's get into this. Let's pattern up this, sheet metal out this whole area, get this mounted solid before we attack and cut into these strut tops, which we know it's inevitable. We need to drop them down. At least we think we need to drop them down. We haven't had the rear quarter on yet, but that's what we're doing now. Let's go. I kind of feel like I skipped over all this stuff in here and the use of almost every clamp in the workshop to hold all this together. As most of this inner of the 718 Porsche is aluminium and it's painted and it's, you know, reasonably nice. We don't really need to change anything in here. It was difficult to jig to. So got a whole bunch of scrap steel, and you can see here into the roll bar mount. We just set up this plate, welded a bunch of stuff to it, a whole bunch of 1-inch square 25mm tube, and it just gives us the ability to shimmy things around left and right, front and back, up and down, and then just clamp and clamp and clamp until we get it where we need it to be, without having to tack weld to the body, because we're dealing with mild steel on the outside, aluminium on the inside. It would just be this constant nightmare of going back and forth, changing the welder setup. So this way, by having this base plate bolted in to the roll bar mounts, gives us this little pedestal, and we can just use packers to go up and down as we needed. Just with this little basic, cheap auto leveling laser, we can shoot a beam down the center of the car. And that's given us the center in the rear here of the 718 platform, and by coincidence it lines up with the center of the transmission. Up here on the parcel shaft, now that's the 356 body. That goes up to the center. Even right through, up into here, the center of our windscreen, the top, we've got that beam of light traveling through. Then this post that shows that glimmer of light on it, that's set center to the car. Vertical, welded to that frame. And what that means is, while we're setting this B-pillar at any position, we just go in and set our steel rule up against that tube on one side and come out here and find our measurements that we're looking for. This side of the car, 25mm shorter than the right side of the car. We know we're always working off the center. Once we had it symmetrical, and just confirm this angle here, and according to ChatGPT, this should be 74.5. So 74.2 at the moment on mock-up. I'm going to call that close. Oh, gained another point there. Then the other side reads, magnetic thing, 74.7. So a few decimal points of a degree out on each side. But for a 60-year-old car, I think that's getting close, very close. Once these posts were set, so we know they're symmetrical, we checked the heights and the right angles correct. Now we needed to set the taper on this rear window. All we've got so far is the roof, the original roof, which is really beat up. I've got suspicions that the car this come off may have been damaged because this corner tends to be pushed in a little bit. Got this fiberglass splash off the car that we, molded off in storage. And now we've got this inner window sill here that we've fabricated, and that's just clamped up to this flange. Now at the moment, don't really have anything solid to go off, so I've done a little bit of eyeball measurements. I'll try and capture this on the screen. It could be a little bit difficult. And what I'm looking for is the plane of this piece of steel. Find something back here significant that it's aiming for and see if it's symmetrical on both sides of the car. So let's have a look here. If we find the right angle, somewhere there, you can see that the plane of this piece of sheet metal here, we could almost confidently say it's lining up center with this hole. So a bit of eyeball measurements, that's a starting point. Let's go over to the other side. Let's get in there tight again. That's our sheet metal plane we're looking for. And if we get in close, line it up. It's almost there. It is almost center of this hole. So for some crude thrown together thing, fixture, jig, confident this area here is good. Looking for this taper with some eyeball measurements. I think we can commit to that. Time to pull out a fresh piece of sheet metal. Let's go. So our steel supply puts this oily, greasy film all over the steel, which is awesome because it keeps our steel really fresh and clean, no rust and everything else, but it means we need to remove it. So just a little bit of degreaser, wipe down. It's not going to take it all off, but it's going to save this sludge from transferring across all of our equipment and our hands and everything else. So let's give it a quick clean, take all the grit off, get this steel nice before we cut it up. Fresh piece of steel, piece of cardboard, need to make a part to fill that hole. Just a little trick, whenever you need to fold a box section like this, fold it up into a corner, draw a hole in there first, a couple mil bigger than the thickness of the material. When you fold it, it'll be really neat on these corners. There we have it, a blank, ready to fold up for our piece, and don't forget, we've got to make a left and a right. But before we fold these, it's quite a bit of flat surface area in here. We need to put some strength in. Just marked out our bead rollers with a Sharpie. Put some nice big generous radiuses in there so we can turn the corner. And one thing that's really important is to pre-stretch the bead roll. If you don't pre-stretch it, it ends up shrinking. The bead roll will actually shrink in the center of the steel and end up oil canning your piece. And you can see here as I'm running this through the wheelie machine, it's stretching just inboard of our Sharpie line. And that's just going to give us the stretch in the steel just by squashing it, so that when we run our bead roll, it'll return back to normal. I don't know if there's an exact science to this. I'm sure someone out there knows this. If you do this stuff, comment below and tell us how you do it, how to calculate how many stretches to do. I've only done this a few times and I always find about sort of 4 or 5 passes works for me with about a medium pressure. It's the most uncalculated method possible, but it gets me really close. Plan is to get doors off. I need to make molds of the doors.
Yep.
So we need a B-pillars confirmed, doors off. We need to weld these pockets in. We need to finish those with the doors off though, because we want to weld them in with the seals clamped on the car.
Yep.
So they won't distort. So probably I should explain stuff better, shouldn't I, for them, because we know this. So I apologise. I'm just going to explain stuff like we don't know what's going on.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we need to get doors off. We want to weld these pockets in, but we'll leave the rockers clamped onto the car while we're welding them to make sure we don't get any distortion in this, rather than do it on the bench. So we'll weld those pockets in, and then these A-pillars, which are over here somewhere, grab an A-pillar. I've half started one, half mocked it up, so you can see here, it's trimmed out around there. I want to clearance that a little bit.
Push it in.
So I'm thinking while we're working on this, we get these set up, get these square both ways. Cleco them in onto the firewall. Might have to take some of the paint and gunk, some of this old goo off here, get that clean. If we get both of these squared up both sides and welded, there's going to be a little triangle piece we have to fabricate and weld into here to seal out that pocket too.
Block it
so we might have to run the TIG down that seam that we talked about earlier. Once all this is off, that'll be cleared up. Because what it means is if we get these in the right spot, set on both sides, all clecoed in, then we can remove our temporary stuff from the inside.
Yep.
And start to build our roll cage thing.
Yep. Yeah, we start tying it all in.
Yeah. So I reckon we can work on that. Pretty soon we can take the doors off. So if you want to start on that now,
Yep.
I'm going to continue going rearward on the car.
Yep. Let's do it.
And then after that, we need to get into those rear struts. That's our goal. That's our biggest goal for now, is to get that rear fender cut out and get those rear struts sorted. Sweet, good. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. This one needs a bit more angle. Good thing I got the little drill. Look at that, made for it. Well, what I was thinking was, we'll seam weld that all the way through,
Yeah.
and then your box goes across and up.
Yeah.
Then from here, I want to make a triangle with a slight pitch uphill,
Oh, yeah, and just hit it.
because
back
water
in.
will come in here. And if we step down and make a pocket, water's going to sit there.
Exactly right.
So once we get this top edge, I want to make a little piece that sits uphill a little bit.
Yep.
And then weld that in.
Yeah, and that way
Yeah.
drain straight off down through the
So as
seals.
soon as I got a couple more minutes here, as soon as I get this done, then we can take the doors off.
But
If you get the other side to that stage,
Yep.
by the time you've done that, these doors can come off again.
let's do
Alright.
it.
I need to get rid of that little stud. Sorry, I'm not leaving. I need to get rid of the stud. Yeah. That is that's for the wiring loom harness. It comes through here. If we go straight across, then we've got nowhere for a wiring loom. It's going to be all ugly through the window, so we're going to end up with this channel in here which all of our services can run through. Got rid of him. We'll keep that one, it's not in our way. This was our not old, it's only a week ago, 2 weeks ago. That was the start of our rear quarter inner, our windowsill, I think we called it, because we didn't know what we're doing below here yet. So that was the start of it. This has now been superseded with this one, which you would have just seen get made. That is now that top section there is now this top section with the addition. This is the start of our rear quarter. I think I'm gonna have to fold this one a bit more. Haven't had this in here yet. A little bit of tuning required, but it's got to fold this up a bit taller. Drop this end down, it's not quite level. Let's fold this up, drop that down, back in a second. Something like that. Now, we've got some overlaps here. You can see here, this piece. Our lower piece is under here. So then put a little joggle in here and here. We'll give it a little bit of clearance, a little bit of extra. There, and there. Our edges, little joggles, all done. And if we get our Sharpie in the right spot, don't mind the clamp, a little bit of clearance, steps over our piece. With that sitting there, we should have enough space through here to run our wiring loom still, our factory harness. So because the bottom half of the car is alloy, we've set this flange up. This will end up being, plan is to rivet and glue all this section all the way through, just like the factory did. However, here up is all mild steel off the 356. So the plan is to get this window frame, window sill, rear quarter upper all set, welded to the roof. So the whole top half will just come down, bond and rivet onto the aluminium base. So I just wanted to get this flange to sit down a little bit better, so I just tapped it in with the back of the spoon. Get that to sit home. So you got both of these mocked up, ready to go?
Yep.
Cool.
A little bit of trimming once the doors come off, and
I'm ready to take doors off. I'm happy. I got the B pillars reinforced.
Yep.
With the trim. So if you're good to take doors off, we can take doors off.
Yep.
And you'll get stuck into that.
I can start cleaning up just a little bit of nicks and dags that I can't get into.
Check them level both ways and all right, take it away. All right,
Floating door.
all right. So you got doors off. What are we up to?
We're going to start trying to plumb that.
Square these up.
Square these up.
Cool. Get them pinned up here somewhere.
Yep.
Get these boxes welded in. Because whatever we make in here will be the same spot weld flange. All the way up here. Spot weld flange all the way down there. So now when this whole side of the car comes off, it'll be spot welded all around down there.
Yeah.
Same as that little, this piece.
Yeah, it's all spot weld.
I'm picturing this is going to get welded in completely here, and that spot welding is just going to continue right up into here. Through there. Not into any of that, because that's the alloy.
Alloy, yep.
Spot weld across there and down there.
Yep.
So this and the rocker comes off as a side of a car.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, easy.
That's the plan. How's that fit up?
A little bit of a tweak.
Square?
Square.
On track. Awesome.
track.
I'm going to get looking at this rear quarter. Start looking at this. We're going to have to cut this wheelhouse out somehow. How? I don't know how.
Right man for the right job.
Man, we've got to figure out what to do with these things. The tyre, the wheel just comes right up into this rear quarter. This is going to be in the way. The rear quarter, I reckon. I'm going to have to cut out at least this much. I don't know how to do this.
Yep.
Cleco it here and here. Just try and get that top over that a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll put a
Push
kink.
that in.
Well, that won't move. I can't get that in, so unless I kink that out from there to there.
Let's just pull it off. Pull it off for a sec.
Touch it. She's great.
Pin it. Pin it.
She's plumb bobbed.
You're going to need that.
Like that.
And you're going to need some of these.
I'm going to need some of them. Do you want a pin here?
Yeah.
Over top. I haven't got finger strength.
We've already... All this is missing already from the damage from the wreck. This side has it. So before we cut these... Before we get into these, we've got to get rid of all this. I'm going to rip this off, keep that for the computer. Maybe we can mount a computer here in the rear quarter. Lose that, that's going to get in our way. Then we can cut these quarters off. So let's go rip this off quickly. let's have a look at these rear quarters. This is going to be a problem here. Some point in this life, this had been started to be made into a convertible. So this has all been welded in. That edge has been turned over. You can see on the back. So leaves a lot to be desired in the way that was done. So I'm feeling, seeing as I've made our new piece, which will be a new weld through here, might as well cut this off, but I just got to figure out how much of that needs to be cut off. So, all right, so here, do a Sharpie. All right, I'm just gonna go cut this off so we can have a look underneath at this wheel well, figure out what's going on there. Just gonna cut that just below, I hope just below the fat weld that's on it. Yeah, hope if I cut it below that weld, we'll lose that overlap piece. Just did a couple of passes. This poor bit of sheet metal has been through so much already. Just didn't want to heat it up too much, so just quick back and forth a few times, keep it really cool. Let's go check out what's going on over there. Alright, so I cut this off, we can test fit this. Oh dude, Anthony, thanks for cutting this off.
Wasn't me.
You just saw, I don't know why it's there. Oh well, so we can get this to fit now. And is that flange gone? It still hits something. I think we'll get rid of this fiberglass. I've got to get this to drop over, but what's it hitting? What do we got? What do we got, Evan? The casting?
Yep. Tips of casting.
Yep.
Yep.
Chop chop.
And still here.
And there.
Yeah.
I think it's, if we have to cut into this, I think it's time we've got to build this jig for the strut tops, because this has to go low. Now, done some homework on struts. We found some, the custom made ones, or modified, whatever. Whatever. We found some struts, 75mm shorter than standard. So just shy of 3 inches. So we know we can go, I'm not gonna go 75mm, 3 inches, but I think if we drop this down incrementally until we get clearance on the quarter, we'll know where we're at. So we've got to build a jig for this. We need to trim away some more here that's sitting on our fiberglass. We're just gonna get rid of this for now so we can cut away more here. Whoever cut this didn't cut enough yet. Not very experienced with this tool. Might as well do the other side at the same time. Ha! This one's been done as well. Sweet. Unfortunately, our rear quarter is crashing through this strut top. You know, pretty significant part of the car, really. This is taking the weight, suspension, the whole lot, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to trim this down, shave this down a little bit. Struts, there is struts available. There is shorter struts available. So this top deck, we want to bring this down, not lose the ride height, but we do want to lower, of course. We do want to lower the car, of course. What we need to do is build a jig to maintain this position while we modify this. So over here, we've got a series of plates. So a stack up of plates. A bit tight, the beauty of laser cutting. Very tight. Too tight. Okay, we're back. What the thought process is here, stack all those up, run some bolts through, get this solid plate underneath, push all those up. Then we can make some sort of frame underneath here. And what it means is if we have to chop into this or lower the top, most importantly, we're going to bring the strut top down on the right axis or the right plane, I guess. We can't drop it down straight because it's going to skew our angle and give us a whole bunch of camber gain on the rear. So we need to make sure if we drop the top, we're coming at the right angle. I don't know if I explained that good enough. Let me grab some metal rulers and explain that a bit better. So from the rear, go around the rear there. So from the rear, effectively our strut's on an angle and our strut top's like this. If we were to drop our strut top straight, like that, this strut would have to lay over more to pick up the right location. We need to drop the strut top perpendicular to this plane so that all of our geometry stays the same. Otherwise our strut's going to be laid over a mile. Did that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Tell the camera what you're up to, Anthony.
Currently going to start welding this steel.
He has a voice.
Currently going to get tiggy with it.
If I had a clamp available, I'd just clamp. Just knocked up a bit of a brace here, got our strut brace in there. So you can see in here there's a whole stack of steel plates in there. They're all 10 mil or just a bit over 3/8. So that if we need to lower this to clearance the body, which is looking like we do, we can just move that down incrementally to keep it in line with the strut. But we need to get this rear quarter, grab this rear quarter, get this rear quarter on. And this, you can see this is going to hit that amount of metal hanging out from that strut support is stopping us from going in right through here. So, time to chop it out. There's our coil over. I'll have to take this boot off. So it just hacked into this rear strut mount, and unfortunately our rear quarter wants to go where the same place as our strut wants to go. It wants to go through here into our spring top. So we have to pull all of our packers out. The top plane on this one here, that's going to be the top of our strut in the future. So we need to get rid of this, hack out all this, make sure we can get our rear quarter on, and then deal with the next thing later. So let's pull these out and keep cutting. So just pulled the packers out, the 2 inches or the 50mm packers. At the moment, that's our target to build a new strut top to. So fingers crossed. More cutting, unfortunately, more cutting. Fingers crossed we can cut this section out, our rear quarter can come on, and there's enough room to bolt a strut in there. If we have to, we can go another 25mm down, but really don't want to, because it's going to give us a really short spring strut to work with. So let's cut and see how close we can get. Woo! Feeling a bit nervous, a bit sick about that one. All right, let's try the quarter again. We haven't been counting this time, have we? Ah!
Meant to be there.
Anywhere, somewhere there.
Anywhere, somewhere there.
Anywhere, somewhere there. I like it. Quick, tack it together. It happened. Don't worry, it's only got like a whole bit of stuff hanging out the side of the rear quarter. Somewhere there-ish. Do you want to cut the top off that other rear quarter?
Yep.
So see this one? So coming just, you got to come in about 5mm down to get underneath of the weld.
Yep.
Just cut that return flange off the top edge, same as that. Thank you. Please, I should say please. The comment section said I need to be nice to you. First time around, gonna have success. Further forward, bro. A little bit more cutting.
Alright, hold it, 2 seconds, get the Sharpie.
Go some snippage.
Yeah, mark it.
Oh, you want to Sharpie it?
So we want to go like here,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Somewhere around there.
Yeah. We're going to remake that section, so more is better than less.
Yep.
More. Somewhere there each. And we've got that. Can you grab those snips? I should just... Man, you know, I've heard this joke. It's exactly what we're doing right now. This guy, first day on the job, he's painting the white lines on the road, and the guy that shows him how to do it, he goes, "This is how you paint the white line, all right? You go dip, 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 dab, 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 dotted line. So you go dip, 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 dab for solid line." He goes, "All right." He said, leaves and goes first day. First day he does 5 kilometres. He goes, "Fucking awesome, 5 kilometres. You're killing it. All right, see you tomorrow." Next day he does 2 kilometres. He goes, "Oh, it's not as good, but it's not bad." Last day he only does half a kilometre. And the dude's like, "Man, what's going on? You painted 5 Ks on the first day, and the third day you only painted like half a kilometre. What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, it takes me longer and longer to walk back to the paint can every time." It's kind of, that's my moment of walking back to get the tin snips every time. Just bring the tool here. It's all right. I'm a dad, so I'm allowed to do dad jokes.
It's got to go back.
I want to go somewhere there.
Like that looks pretty good.
Okay. I'm just going off this, but I need this to set that. I've only set that as a guess at this stage. Gently, gently.
Boots barely held.
Come on! People have been watching it for 40 minutes. They want to see something. I need a blue one. Blue one, please. Quick, take a picture before it explodes. Oh, if that's not the dodgiest cobbled together pile of turd that there is.
Don't move.
Don't move, don't breathe. Wrap it up, Evan. And with that, that's the end of this one. All those problems, those rear struts, those mounts, these panels not fitting, we'll save that for next time.